Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, there's some things that certain people say in the world of politics that just really grinds my gears.
You know what really grinds my gears?
You know, stuff like, I'm in the middle, or the truth is always in the middle. People who just try to convince you that they're just so above you, such nuanced thinkers. I'm in the middle. Oh wow, you're in the middle on every issue? You must be 200 IQ and part of Mensa, part of the high IQ society. No, of course not. It's a cop-out. What it really means is I don't understand the issues, and so I'm unwilling to take a stance. And that gets us nowhere. Now, the second statement, which is highly connected to the first, is I don't vote or it doesn't matter who gets elected. The status quo's the status quo, man. Things don't actually change. Well, I think 2018 to 2022 is the era of disproving that exact claim. Your vote does matter. In fact, it really freaking matters. Had all the Democrat-leaning independents and even Republicans who got guilt-tripped into voting for Joe Biden because Donald Trump's mean tweets were just so unacceptable. Had that not happened, well, the disaster that is currently unfolding in real time would have never happened. At least not to the extent that it is right now. Would we have inflation? Yes. Would there be conflict and issues and the economy would be a little bit shaky? Sure. But it wouldn't have been nearly as bad with Donald Trump at the helm, or really any Republican, any real Republican, no rhinos of course. It wouldn't have been nearly as bad had this incompetent buffoon and his incompetent party been in power. That's an indisputable fact. And another fact, and kind of the point of the video, is elections matter a whole lot. Policy matters. And while Joe Biden is a great example, I think there is no better example than looking back at the 2018 Florida gubernatorial election. What a bullet was dodged, not to mention the birth of a Republican superstar in Ron DeSantis. But what a lesson is being learned right now. Could you imagine what would be going on right now in the state of Florida had Ron DeSantis not narrowly won the gubernatorial election in 2018? Well, we're getting even more perspective on that exact question, as we are now getting new report that not only was Democrat candidate Andrew Gillum an apparent meth head who got arrested in a motel with another individual, another man, but he is now facing 21 felony indictments, all stemming from his gubernatorial campaign. Folks, you've heard the saying, dodging a bullet. Well, the state of Florida is Neo from The Matrix, and all those bullets that he's dodging in that famous scene, that's what could have been had Andrew Gillum won the 2018 election. Let me show you guys why voting does matter and does make a difference. Let me show you guys what's going on. Let's roll the tape. Breaking: former DeSantis rival Andrew Gillum indicted on 21 felonies stemming from gubernatorial campaign. Andrew Gillum, who ran against Governor Ron DeSantis for Florida's governorship, has been charged with 21 felonies related to that election bid. The charges came down on Wednesday, and Gillum told associates that he expected the indictment to come. Gillum, whose aspirations were dashed after he was found heavily intoxicated in a Miami Beach hotel room with methamphetamines in 2020, that's incorrect, that happened after the 2018 election, but anyways, let's move on, released a statement on the indictment, saying that the case against him was political in nature, and that there's been a target on my back ever since I was the mayor of Tallahassee. He further stated his innocence of the charges. Yes, woe is me, Andrew Gillum is just such a victim. Andrew Gillum, the once rising Florida Democratic star who narrowly lost his 2018 gubernatorial race against Ron DeSantis, has told associates that he expects to be indicted in federal court as early as today for alleged fraud tied to his campaign, NBC News has learned. Mark Elias, well, there's a familiar name. I swear we see this guy everywhere. Hillary Clinton's lawyer, his name and his greasy fingers seem to be all over the Black Lives Matter organization in connection with Patrice Can Coolers. And of course, possibly connected to the $12 million funneled through BLM for legal services. But anyways, here's Mark Elias, now I guess representing Andrew Gillum, Elias or Elias, whatever it is, partner at the Elias Law Group, and David Oscar Marcus of Marcus/Moss, released the following statement regarding the proceedings involving Andrew Gillum today. The government got it wrong today. The evidence in this case is clear and will show that Mr. Gillum is innocent of all charges. We look forward to putting this case to rest and giving Andrew and his family peace of mind mind and for all. Andrew Gillum has released the following statement. I've spent the last 20 years of my life in public service and continue to fight for the people. Yeah, you mean like that time you took money from the people to go buy meth and meet other dudes in motel rooms? Yeah, real fighter you are. Every campaign I've run has been done with integrity. Yeah, real integrity. Make no mistake that this case is not legal, it is political. Political in what nature, I might add. From what I understand, these are federal charges. It's a federal grand jury handing these indictments on Mr. Andrew Gillum. And what kind of grudge does the federal government have against Andrew Gillum? But of course, it's the Democrat MO. I'm always a victim. I'm sure it must be racism or something. But let's continue on with his statement. Throughout my career, I have stood up for the people of Florida and have spoken truth to power. There's been a target on my back ever since I was the mayor of Tallahassee. They found nothing then, and I have full confidence that my legal team will prove my innocence now. Let me give you guys the detail of the charges. A federal grand jury has returned a 21-count indictment against Andrew, I guess his middle name is Demetric Gillum, 42, and Sharon Janet Letman Hicks, 53, both of Tallahassee, Florida. The indictment alleges that between 2016 and 2019, defendants Gillum and Letman Hicks conspired to commit wire fraud by unlawfully soliciting and obtaining funds from various entities and individuals through false and fraudulent promises and representations that the funds would be used for a legitimate purpose. The indictment further alleges that the defendants used third parties to divert a portion of those funds to a company owned by Letman Hicks, who then fraudulently provided the funds disguised as payroll payments to Gillum for his personal use. In other words, they were unlawfully soliciting funds through his campaign and then funneling it to a private company and then paying themselves so Andrew Gillum can go on his little meth benders and have fun with his boy toys in Miami. Andrew Gillum, a real Democrat of integrity, devoting his life to public service and the people of Florida. Man, did Florida dodge a bullet on this one. I mean, could you imagine if this guy got elected? And remember the outcry and the outrage. Remember TYT, the Young Turks, Anna Kasparin and Jen Guger, how they were just outraged and devastated that their boy Andrew Gillum didn't win. Well, oh, did that one age poorly. Imagine how history would be different. I mean, had Ron DeSantis not taken power in 2018 and not showed such tremendous leadership over the last 4 years, leading the state of Florida to the highest index of freedom, I believe the actual lowest or one of the lowest unemployment rates in the entire country, year-over-year budget surplus, I believe the Florida government has $21 billion in cash just sitting there in a rainy day fund, and that's with zero state income tax. And we all know Ron DeSantis' stellar leadership during very rough times in 2020 and 2021. I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to say anything else or go into any detail. Well, let's just say it would be much worse with Andrew Gillum leading the state instead, and maybe without Ron DeSantis' incredible success, maybe the state of Florida wouldn't have a Republican voter registration lead of 150,000 people, and maybe the GOP wouldn't have their political superstar, rock star, and heir to the throne after Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis, creating a beacon of hope for this new conservative movement in a conservative future. Now, I feel like I could go into data and analyze policies, but honestly, I don't really feel like I have to. You guys get it? I mean, I think I made my point. In fact, I don't even think I really need to make the point. The point is almost baked in. Thank God that during the 2018 midterms, a great year for Democrats, meth head Andrew Gillum, and now supposed or alleged wire fraudster conman Andrew Gillum, didn't get elected. Elections literally change history, folks. And so please, just drop the black pill. That's basically what I got to say. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.